guess it was a couple of weeks ago, because Netflix will send out those emails that kind of go ahead and here's what's coming live, here's what you might like, kind of a thing.
I get them too.
Yeah, and Red Notice and a whole bunch of other things, some anime and other stuff were in there. Hey,
Kenny.
Hey.
So that was definitely one of the ones there, and Dwayne being Dwayne and Ryan Reynolds being Ryan Reynolds, and then Gal Gadot being Wonder Woman, and it's like I don't think you can go wrong.
Yeah, Kenny, we were just
talking about Red Notice.
Yeah, that looks good.
Yeah, definitely a Friday popcorn movie.
Now, is that online and theaters or just in theaters? I forget.
Just Netflix.
Nice.
Netflix paid, produced, did everything. Yeah. So I don't know if it's getting theater play, for award considerations, though I don't know that this is necessarily their crowning award vehicle. But I think this is just a Netflix movie.
Nice. Yeah,
I can't really say just a Netflix movie anymore, but you know what I mean.
Exactly. It's going to be easily accessible for the masses.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody, thank you for joining. We were just talking as we normally do. We have Logan, we have Kenny, and I am your humble host, Julian. And today we have a show for you. Well, tonight, I should say. We're going to be talking about movies. We're going to be talking about music. We're going to be talking about, a upcoming gaming channel that a certain Binge theory may be putting out there. So we got a lot coming. Stick around. We'll be right back. Welcome to Binge Theory, the coolest corner on the internet. I am your humble host, Julian, again, and this is Logan and Kenny, and we are chopping it up with all things nerd-related, media-related, music-related, etc. Logan, how you doing?
Can't complain. It's been a decent week.
You just got back from a nice break, didn't you?
Yeah. Nice little Halloween trip to the beach.
Nice.
So we rented. We did. I guess all the commercials on YouTube paid off, but went through Verbo and had a nice 6th floor condo. A couple bedrooms. So my family went, my mother went, and literally it was right on the beach. Like you could hear the ocean through the walls, and then you could just go out in the balcony, and it was perfect.
Where at? If you don't mind sharing.
Ocean City, Maryland.
Oh, okay. So not too far.
No, not too far. And it seems to be, everybody's got those childhood memories of where they go, whether it's, up in New Jersey or down Outer Banks or wherever. And it seems like anytime we seem to be going somewhere, it's Ocean City. So we're kind of just leaning into that, and it's perfect. And it was nice. There was maybe 10 people in the entire condominium complex, because most people aren't going to Ocean City after, end of after season in October. But weather was decent, 50s, 60s, enough to get your ankles wet and the kids to accidentally fall in the water. But yeah, it's a great time.
Nice, and it's good to get away. Cleanse the palate, so to speak, and
just to go out in that balcony and hear the ocean and just sit there. I've got some sunrise shots from they have this huge. It must have been 6 foot by 6 foot square glass that was in the master bedroom that faced the ocean directly for sunrise. It was glorious.
Nice. No, that does sound nice. And I think Raymond's trying to jump in. He is not in our queue, so he needs to try harder. Raymond,
I'll tell him.
Yeah, I don't know where he is, but he's not here. So behind the scenes stuff, folks. No need to be alarmed. But in the meantime, we can go ahead and pick up the show, because we have a ton of stuff to do. We have a ton of items we're going to go through. Right off the bat, speaking of binging, which is the namesake of our show here, I recently stumbled across a show called Letterkenny. It's all one word, Letterkenny.
No relations.
With that, yes, exactly. And but you should get royalties from it, Kenny, at least.
I should.
And I came across it, and it during the COVID shutdown, and when you're watching Netflix and all these other streaming platforms, you stumble across shows that garner your interest. This one I discovered more on Instagram, I think, where they just played a clip, and it was hilarious. And then you start doing the deep dive, and then just consuming and binging all you can. And I think it's on Hulu, and I may actually subscribe to Hulu just for this show. It's been running for 9 seasons. I got a quick pick of the cast. And if you've ever seen it takes place in Canada. And if you've ever seen, say, for example, Trailer Park Boys or It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, you kind of get the idea. It's a group of hey, Ramon, how are you?
Yes. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. It's like, oh, there's a button that says enter the studio. Delay.
There, no worries. There you go, brother. Thanks for joining us. I'm just introducing everybody to this new show that I've been fixated on for the past 3 or 4 days called Letterkenny. And I was just saying that it is probably one of the smartest written lowbrow comedies I've ever come across. They do, and Logan, you'll appreciate this. They do like a series of burns on one another, but they do it in rapid fire succession. It's like nothing I've ever seen in regards to just the piffiness of it. And you guys got to check it out. Go online and just look it up. And on YouTube, they have compilation videos of them. And they have the main character, you see him there in the flannel. He has like this stone face the entire time. Kind of reminds me of Putty from Seinfeld, where his expression doesn't change. All they do is drink beer, smoke cigarettes, and they have different groupings. Like these are the Hicks, and that they refer to themselves as the Hicks. They're farmers and they're Canadian farmers, and that's their thing. And they talk about all sorts of topics, but that's their clique. And then there's also the Skids, which are more goth. And then there's the hockey players, which are the jocks. And I think like every other episode, there's just a fight. They have all this funny, witty banter, and then there's just a fight. And this main character, his character's name is Wayne. I think he actually started the show from like one of those short video clips that he had on YouTube, and then he got backing, and then they produced it all together. He plays it perfectly. And what's funny is, despite his looks, he has like this higher pitch Canadian voice with like the Canadian accent. So it's really just I can't recommend it enough. So that is my binge recommendation. Again, it's on Hulu, but you can find it all over the internet for just clips. It is good. Do either of you guys, have you seen any of the shows that I mentioned? It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia or Trailer Park Boys, any of that?
A little bit of It's Always Sunny.
Yeah.
I've seen bits of Trailer Park Boys.
What do you think of Trailer Park Boys, Kenny?
Oh, I love it, right? Because once I realized that I don't remember character names, but the guy that played in Office Space, the stapler guy.
Yes.
I know when I saw him in it, I was like, all right, I'm in, because he is hilarious.
I'm trying to think. I don't think he's in it.
You sure?
I think I know you're talking about.
I'm thinking of a different show now. Hang on. Now I gotta look it up.
I think you're thinking about another redhead with glasses.
Oh, maybe I am.
No worries. They all look kind of the same.
Now I gotta figure out what he's in that I'm confusing it with.
Yeah. Well, the cast is pretty. I don't think there's any like major actors in the cast, but again, they're hilarious. It's again lowbrow. You could tell the writing is on a higher level, but the subject matter is very lowbrow. So there you go. Anyway, check it out. You will not be disappointed. And let's move on to the next one. Now, The next one, this one, Kenny, you came up with this. Why don't you kick it off?
So it says favorite cameos, but it's what I meant by it is so cameos that are surprises, meaning that they've never been they weren't advertised or hinted at. There were no rumors. It was just those happenstance cameos where it's like this actor just happened to be shooting a film or TV show that was near another one that was being shot, and they were all friends, so people just make an appearance. And my favorite one is from the 2004-ish movie Euro Trip. Matt Damon, who plays this grunge singer, and he's only in it for like maybe 5 minutes total.
Yeah.
But the story behind it was I think they were shooting in London, and he was there shooting parts of I think the Bourne Supremacy, one of the Bourne movies, and him and I think the director of Eurotrip, they were kind of pals, and he was like, "Hey, like, can I come be in the movie?" And so he's like, "Yeah." And so he comes and plays the lead singer of this band. And when I first watched it, I didn't realize who it was at first. It was like one of those you had to go back, and I was like, that's Matt Damon, and he wasn't credited. So it was like later on that they, because I don't think he's in the credits at all, like when you watch the movie, but he's on IMDb, but I think he's uncredited. But yeah, so that's one of my favorite ones because it's just so off character and something you don't expect. Matt Damon with a shaved head and tats and earrings and stuff. So I wonder if anybody else had a cameo like that.
Yeah, I have one, but I want to go back. If he had a shaved head, I doubt he was doing Bourne Supremacy. Do you think he was doing Elysium?
No, it was one of the Bourne movies.
Okay, maybe there was a scene where he had like a closer shaved haircut or something like that. But yeah, I do have one. I do indeed have one.
I love stuff like
that. My favorite surprise cameo that nobody saw coming.
Yeah,
Brad Pitt in Deadpool 2.
Yeah,
That was a good one.
That was a good one.
That was a good one.
Yeah,
and just so quick and short and like.
Yep.
Yes.
Well, because the funny thing is, I do remember that there was a whole bunch of rumor going around who they were going to get to play Cable, and Brad Pitt was, I guess. And again, it's not a real list; it's the internet chatter. They were saying who's going to play Cable in the new Deadpool movie. Everybody wanted to see like Brad Pitt, somebody who was like maybe in their early 50s or something like that. And Brad Pitt subverted their expectations, showed up as the Vanisher, who was invisible the entire time until he died. Spoiler alert, he dies being electrocuted, but you can see in that image that he was literally on fire.
I love it.
What about anybody else? Does anybody else have a favorite cameo or a surprise?
Oh, I do.
Raymond,
so, yeah, the old one though, Staying Alive, Sylvester Stallone.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Absolutely.
basically, yeah, that took me by surprise. So basically, in the movie, John Travolta's walking down the street and he bumps into Sylvester Stallone. Sort of, Sylvester Stallone turns around and looks at him. That's awesome. That was sick. Yeah, that was going like, oh wait a minute, wasn't that Sylvester Stallone?
That was a good Alfred Hitchcock.
That's my classic. Yep, cameo.
Yeah, and Sylvester Stallone directed Staying Alive.
Yeah,
and he's the one that got John Travolta to get all ripped and lean, and that muscular Travolta. Logan, what about you, good sir?
So I actually got one I just saw recently. So we'll maybe slight spoiler alert here, but there was a blink and you'll miss it one line cameo from Chris Evans in Free Guy.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes.
And that apparently, for as the story goes that I read online, Ryan Reynolds just texted him because I guess he was shooting, I think, Defending Jacob or something, right near where they were shooting Free Guy. So he was like, "Come by the set. We'll shoot at this in 10 minutes, and then you can go off on your way." And apparently, it was just like he came in. The director had a camera, just filmed it in 5 minutes, and it was done. He was gone. That was it.
I've seen that, and that was hilarious, Logan.
That
Has
was
anybody else
perfect.
seen Free Guy?
I haven't seen it yet.
I haven't seen it yet either. That's
Oh.
that's the one where I don't know. Yeah, I haven't
There's so
seen
many
it yet.
movies I need to see.
It's I really enjoyed it. It's kind of a lighthearted. What was was it Miles Teller? No, who did the other
it was
one?
Miles Teller. And
Who
oh
did,
no, it wasn't Miles Teller.
Ready Player One.
Ready Player. It was like a younger Miles Teller.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Was this when they were when Ryan Reynolds was fighting with his muscular self and with the shield and stuff like
Yes.
that?
Yes.
That's
yes.
That's
Free Guy.
they kind of like that. They kind of want to. I think that I saw that, and I regretted seeing that because now I know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a really fun movie. I enjoyed that. It was what I wished, or I don't know if it was what I wished, but it was a much lighter, more fun take on the same kind of thing. Taking all the different franchises or elements or gaming parts of it and putting it all in one movie.
Yeah.
So that's where we rented it on Amazon one night. It was on just their video.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was fun.
Well, speaking of cameo, that was one of the things I was wishing for at the end of Justice League is for Ryan Reynolds to just show up as Green Lantern.
Yes.
Yeah, there was talks about having I think Idris Elba being John Stewart, that Green Lantern. But yeah, I don't know. Who knows what's going on with the DC? I mean, I know it looks like they're relearning what everybody already knew. They're going to do Shazam. I mean, Black Adam, another Aquaman, and I think there's even talks about another Wonder Woman. But there's going to be the Flash one as well.
The Flash is in works, and the Flash one I'm interested in because they're pulling in, I think, Michael Keaton Batman, as well as Grant Gustin from the Flash TV series.
It sounds like what they're doing is
it's a Flashpoint. I mean,
Flashpoint.
It's a Flashpoint like the Spider-Man's doing the multiverse.
Yep.
They're doing the Flashpoint.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, the Flashpoint Paradox comic was really good, and the DC animated Flashpoint Paradox was fantastic.
The whole DC animated movie universe was incredible.
Oh yeah, I love it. I love almost all of the DC animated movies.
Yeah. No, I love.
Can't make the live action as good.
I know.
I loved how they made, and spoiler alert for Flashpoint, he goes to a different reality or a different timeline where Thomas Wayne becomes Batman.
And Batman kills.
Yes, this Batman has no qualms about blowing somebody away. So
it could be very similar that they're going to do that. Michael Keaton is not going to be the Michael Keaton Batman that he was in the Tim Burton movie.
He could be Thomas Wayne.
He is Thomas Wayne because he's old.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
He could be Thomas Wayne.
Yeah.
But they could also de-age him.
He could also be he could also be Batman Beyond Batman, the kind of the older.
Oh, I'm so glad we haven't had a Batman Beyond movie because DC doesn't know what the hell they're doing with live action movies. But my God, when they actually figure it out, that would be the one I'll be shouting for the loudest.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. All right.
Well, unfortunately, I think unfortunately, if they try to do that, CW has pretty much, they pretty much covered the whole multiverse thing. They actually multiverse. Is that DC or Marvel? Okay. But yeah, I mean they did one where with Superman where the original the Clark Kent from Smallville.
Yep.
They did a
Tom
parallel.
Tom Welling. The Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Yeah, Crisis on Infinite Earths. So they've kind of done
all their crossovers were incredible.
Yeah. So Yeah, so they're kind of ahead of the game with as far as the DC movies, but
Yes,
It's
the
Greg
CW
Berlanti.
TV verse and the animated. Those
I think Greg Berlanti is kind of the one that he is kind of turning into DC's Kevin Feige, but not at that level. But he is close.
Mhm.
I mean, he took the whole CW, all the CW shows, and basically have brought them together, and they're fairly well.
There was nothing like that, and hasn't been anything like that on TV ever.
Yeah,
It's incredible.
Interesting. Well,
did he do it in Titans too? I can't remember. Yes.
He's doing Titans. He's working on the new
And
Green Lantern
I don't
series
think
for
he was
HBO Max.
originally. I don't think he was. He did the first season of
No.
Titans because it's gotten better. Like this past season, the third season 3, I just finished up, and it was good. Like I was like becoming a fan again because I did not like it after the first season and the beginning of the second season. I was like, I'm not.
Episode 1 of the first season just wrecked me because it was like, what was the point of all that buildup? And like, really, that's the way you're going to play that?
Yeah. The only thing I haven't liked about the Titans was the guy from Game of Thrones. That's where I know him from. That played Batman. I did not like the Batman in Titans.
I guess I haven't gotten there.
Season 3.
Definitely haven't gotten there.
Yeah.
There we go.
Unfortunately, I have a TNT, so I'm kind of like 2 seasons behind. Behind because
I mean, it's on HBO Max, so
yeah. Well, I haven't got subscribed to HBO Max yet, so. But
again,
anyway,
Glenn is the guy's name from Game of Thrones. And he plays Batman. So one, Batman has an accent, and 2, he's older, and I just don't. Well, I won't say he's playing Batman. He plays Bruce Wayne.
Fair enough.
Maybe he was raised in Themyscira, which is why he has an accent.
Yeah.
All
right.
There we go. Well, favorite cameos.
Cameos into a DC discussion. That's awesome.
We did spiral a little. We tend to do that, but it's okay.
I'm surprised that Ramon didn't throw out Tony Todd.
There you go. Tony Todd. That's a deep cut.
No. No more Tony Todd. No more West. No more. Although Tony Todd would probably make a good Green Lantern as well as.
Yeah.
But
there you go. Well.
Yeah.
So that is our favorite surprise cameos, and I'm gonna push things along. There is a new artist. I'm discovering artists left and right because we've been away for a couple of weeks. So I came across this new musical artist, and I love and hate him at the same time. His name is Steve Lacy. Now, Steve Lacy is an accomplished musician. He has a beautiful song that's out called Dark Red. If you can check it out online. And the thing that really irks me about this kid is he's 19 years old and he's just sweating talent. He put out an album, and here's the thing. Most of his songs are recorded on Garage Band on the Mac. And he utilizes his iPhone to record a lot of his tracks. He literally will plug in his electric guitar into his phone, his iPhone, using GarageBand, and that's how he made his album. This remarkable album. So if you get a chance, check out Dark Red, because I think he's going to be the next new thing. And again, 19 years old, so he has a
telly.
What's that?
And he has a telly. I like him already.
Telecaster.
Yes.
Guitar.
Yes. Yeah, he does. Yeah, Fender. There you go. So check him out. You heard it here first. He's going to be something big. Now, I really have something for you guys because this I've been keeping under wraps because I've been I've been pushing it out there to you guys for a long time. This is one of my new favorite bands of all time, and it's Idols. So here's the thing. this band has been, I guess, around for 4 or 5 years, strong. In one of our earlier episodes, I talked about how I came across them on the Tiny Desk NPR series, and just, like I said, you binge them, you discover them, you get infatuated with everything they've done, and you just go through the entire catalog. And they had just 2 hours ago released their latest album called Crawler. So I had to listen to the entire album to give my quick review of it here to you, the people. So this is probably the first review of this album in existence. And, we like to bring you the fresh, juicy content. So let me tell you, first of all, this album does not disappoint. If you're a fan of any of the other stuff. Oh, wait a second. I got a dress for the occasion.
Hey! No,
Hey.
that's
Wow.
Nice.
After Dark.
There you go. So yes, this Idols shirt I got, and I acquired it at a concert that I went to, and I'm going to come back to that because they're on tour right now, and I caught them at the 930 Club in DC, one of the best shows I've ever been at. I'm going to come back to that because I want to talk about concerts in general. But their latest album called Crawler, it is, definitely one of their best works as far as I'm concerned. They've definitely hit a stride. They have some amazing songs that you got to check out. Obviously, the great thing about them in this new world of just mass communication, they just put the full album out on YouTube. So you can go to their Idols YouTube channel, and the full album is there. You can listen to it right now. I guess, what do you generate most of your revenue by doing tours now? I guess that's the reality. Yeah, but again, you guys, I think you'll love it. I think you should just definitely give them a listen. When I was going through the entire album, I was listening to the tracks, and there were so many distinct advances to their sound that I just really appreciated, because when they first started out, they were kind of like a post-punk hipstery band, and then they kind of just stripped everything down to hard banging riffs and more of a screaming delivery as opposed to a melodic singing. So the band, you can look them up. The members are, just so I don't mess up their names here, the lead singer is Joe Talbot. One of the guitarists is Mark Bowen. The other one is Lee Kierman. I hope I'm saying that right. And then the bass player is Adam Devonshire. And I believe this is what's killing me. I believe the drummer is John Harper. Yeah. And again, fantastic band. I can never say enough good things about them. And I was lucky enough, like I said, to catch them on the 19th at the 930 Club. And what I also love about this band is they're very hard, but they're hard in a loving way, if that makes sense. There's such a sense of community. It's kind of like, I would compare it to a Grateful Dead audience. How they feel that they all have this shared experience and they all can enjoy it together. The 930 Club is a small venue, but you did not feel that
a lot of clubs in DC.
Well, I'm sorry, say that again.
So like a lot of clubs in DC.
Yeah. Well, it's DC. There's nothing big in DC. It's DC small in general. So they have like the general admission area where it's just, chaotic and all that. But, you always felt a sense of camaraderie, and you could enjoy the music, and everybody's there with a positive energy, I would say. So I would say if you can ever catch them live, it's definitely worth the time, and definitely go check out their newest album, Crawler. I give it 2 thumbs up, 5 stars, 100%, all the metrics you can throw at it. And speaking of that, love Idols, great band, great show. I wanna transfer from that, because obviously, this is a little more on the heavier side. We try and keep it light and look at some general entertainment type news, but I wanted to talk about the Astroworld tragedy.
Yeah.
And the only reason why I want to juxtapose that to the Idols concert is because the Astroworld tragedy, for I'm sure many people know that there was essentially a surge in people in this crowd, and there were a lot of injuries. I believe altogether 8 people had passed away, and the ages range from 14 to 17. It was just a tragedy on a huge scale, and there are people are still assessing fault, and lawsuits are beginning to fly. Travis Scott was the one who's featured there, and it's just a tragedy. And I want to make the small comparison, not saying that it's. I'm not saying that the Travis Scott concert was a negative place, but and it was much larger, of course, much larger. But the vibe that I got from the Idols concert was they were so loving and enjoying one another. If you were in the mosh pit, which there was a mosh pit, and you fell down, they would scoop you up in a heartbeat. It was one of those type of crowds, and also the band was actively engaged with the audience, so they would they literally went into the audience and were dancing. But I get a different sense with this one. I think because of the scale of it, and from what I've heard, and this is just what I've heard, that Travis has a tendency to exasperate the situation sometimes and kind of gin up the quote unquote rage that he likes to see in his concerts. I think this was probably bound to happen when you have that many people and they're super fans and there's no accountability and literally I saw clips when people were climbing up on the camera towers yelling at the cameraman to stop the show because people were being hurt and injured. I think it's just a totally different I don't want to say culture, but it's definitely a different energy. Guys, I want to open it up. What are your thoughts on the Astroworld Tragedy?
Yeah, who's going to go first? Me? Logan? Go ahead.
Any loss of life is bad.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not trying to certainly be, cold or uncaring. I don't know the artist. I don't know the concert stuff. I didn't hear any of this. It doesn't fall in my news circles. And yes, dying is bad, especially for young people in senseless reasons.
Yeah, and again, I'm not trying to let's just say take us to a dark place, but one of the children that were injured was 9 years old, and I have issues with a 9-year-old being at a concert like that to begin with.
There are those questions to be asked.
Yeah,
actually, I think it was the father that took the kid, and from what I heard is that the kid was on the father's shoulder, and I think what happened was the crowd just pressed in that the father fainted, and when he woke up, he didn't know where the kid was.
All of that sounds horrible.
Yeah.
Everything about it.
I mean, can you imagine? I can't imagine. But it seemed like I mean the crowd was too large, and again, I'm not a crowd or orchestrator or a concert promoter or anything like that, but I've been to big venues and things like that, and they usually have the crowd separated by certain blockers, so it's not an entire sea of humanity pushing into a corner. You usually have like a certain amount of people sectioned off so they can still get the crowd experience, but not be pushed by 1,000 people behind them. And I think that's what happened here. It was just a completely open general admission area. And when they started surging towards the, because I think also Drake had showed up. And again, these are celebrities. Again, I mean, I'm past my prime when it comes to these artists, but I know that they're a name. I know that I think Travis Scott is married to one of the Kardashians or with one of the Kardashians. I don't know if they. Again, it's not my. I'm not a fanboy, but I realize that they're the thing right now, and it reminded me. I know this is not a large venue tragedy, but if you're a certain age, you probably remember when Great White had a concert and there was a fire in their venue, and I believe literally 100 people had lost their lives, and that was due to fire regulations, and they didn't have like a structured egress for getting out of there, so there was definitely that tragedy. It's just horrible. The whole thing is horrible. And you know what? Let's move on to that because I don't want to, just dwell on the horrors of life. Let's move on to cinema. Now, no transition for that. We're just moving right on to cinema. I've been catching a lot of movies at the theaters lately because COVID's done. It's over. Where we can do whatever we want. No response. I'm just kidding. That's sarcasm. Yes, I've been going to theaters, but the theaters I go to matinees, and there's probably literally 4 to 5 people in the theater. We're all definitely spaced apart, but I've been able to go into the theaters again, and I love that experience so much. I definitely want us to be on the other side of, COVID and the different variants so we can get back to a semblance of life. But this was a reminder that movies are fun. They're great experiences. And I was able to check out an Edgar Wright horror film called Last Night in Soho. And Logan and I did a movie review of Hot Fuzz a while ago, which was an Edgar Wright movie. And again, just commenting on, just his craft and just how much fun his movies are. And Logan, I don't think you're going to see this one because it's kind of like a horror thriller noir. I don't think that's typically
my genre. No.
Yeah, but it was done well. It had great actors in it. It had obviously Anya Taylor-Joy, as well as, and I forget her name. Her name is Thomasin McKenzie. Now, if you don't know her, she was in Jojo Rabbit. She played the little girl in Jojo Rabbit. So anyway, I know I'm gonna do a swing and a whiff here, but has anybody seen?
Just the trailers.
Just a trailer, yeah. There it is, and again, the basic premise of it, without giving away spoilers, is, and the trailer kind of gives us away, is that the main character, played by her name's Eloise, played by Thomasin McKenzie, is in London. She's a little sheepish, but then she discovers, I guess through some metaphysical way, to start to live out a fantasy life in the past as Sandy, played by Anya Taylor-Joy. And it could be, maybe it's in her mind, maybe there's some sort of a property to it. But at the end of the day, it was a very clever, very beautiful way. There was a lot of music, a lot of dancing, and good horror interludes. It also has Matt Smith. Now, I'm not a Doctor Who fan, but didn't he play Doctor Who?
Oh, he did.
Yeah. Well, he's in it too. He plays a let's just say a less than endearing character. So you might want to peep it, but you may not. So anyway, anybody interested in seeing that? Yes, no, yes.
We'll see.
Yeah. All right. Well, let me move on to the next one. Now this one, Logan, I really would like for you to check out. I caught the French Dispatch.
Okay.
And this
Bill
one,
Murray?
That's Bill Murray.
Yeah. Well, first of all, let's go down this film. Yeah. Let me tell you. This film, first of all, it was directed by Wes Anderson. And if anybody knows Wes Anderson films, he has a typical cast of actors, very similar to how Woody Allen has his reoccurring characters in his films. So yeah. I'm going to give you the cast here, and this will blow your mind. There's Benicio del Toro, Adrian Brody, Tilda Swinton, Leah Seydoux, and she's the woman who's in the latest Bond film. Don't know her from much else other than that. I hate to say. Frances McDormand, she's in it. Timothy Chalamet, he's in it. Owen Wilson, of course. Bill Murray. I'm sorry, say that again, Kenny.
Jeffrey Wright.
Yeah. Jeffrey Wright. Christoph Waltz is in it. Ed Norton, Jason Schwartzman, Angelica Houston does a quick cameo.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and again, great film. It's done. It's a triptych. It's done in 3 different pieces. Essentially, it's paying an homage to the writers of its time. Just so you know, Jeffrey Wright's character is essentially, I think, an homage to, his character's name is Roebuck Wright, but I think that's just like kind of a character name because I think he's based on Baldwin, and I think he's playing the character Baldwin. They just don't give him that name. So, but again, very entertaining, very Wes Anderson. And if you know cinema, you know Wes Anderson. He has his shots, he has his color palette, he has the pithy dialogue. So if you're a Wes Anderson fan, this will not disappoint.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I love anything with Christoph Waltz in it. I mean, he steals. It's incredible. I just saw Alita Battle Angel.
Yes.
Oh, you just saw that?
Just saw it, yes. A little late on that one. But he was just phenomenal in that. It was awesome.
Did you ever see the anime of?
I have not yet. No. So I saw the movie first, and now I definitely want to go back and check it out.
I like the movie. Really good.
Yeah.
I was actually
how well developed the universe in the world was. But yeah.
I was hoping they came up with a second. I mean, it seems like okay. The end of the movie with her not really getting to the bad guy. I mean, so I was hoping that they continue like the part 2 of that.
Yeah, I don't know if it got the acclaim or the box office to garner a sequel.
Yeah.
But I was like, it was I was just blown away with the special effects, especially the CGI.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember who did the effects. Was it one of the Wachowskis?
Don't know.
Yeah, let me see. It came out in 2019, and it was directed by Robert Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Go figure. Yeah. All right. But now, and here's the thing: Mahershala Ali was in it.
Yes.
And just putting it out there, there was a rumor that, that's right, you guys did. Well, here's the funny thing. Let's jump into our next topic because I have something that's going to tie in.
One quick question.
Oh, yeah.
What company, like, obviously French Dispatch is still in theaters. Where do you have any idea where we're going to expect to find it streaming? Like, was it a Disney? Was it an HBO? Was it a Sony? Was it a Paramount?
That's an excellent question. The French Dispatch was produced by. I got it right here on the internet.
I'm likely not going to get it in the theaters, and it'll probably be on Amazon. But
Searchlight. So that's Fox.
That's Fox. So that's Disney.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay,
we did it. 6 degrees of studios. Yeah,
it's not even 6 anymore. But yeah,
I know.
Yeah, there's really like 3
2 degrees of studios.
All right, cool. Let us jump into the less highbrow but still entertaining world of Eternals.
Oh, now, this little movie.
Yeah, it's a little independent film that came out. Has anybody seen it yet? I should ask that.
No.
I have not seen it yet. I don't know. It kind of didn't. Maybe it was the way the trailers were made, but
it didn't resonate with Ramon.
Well,
it didn't resonate with you.
Nope, did not resonate with me. As a matter of fact, I saw Selma Hayek and what do you call this? And what's her name? Angelina Jolie was going. Oh, okay, maybe this is like the Expendables of Marvel. I don't know. But no, I did not. It did not resonate with me. No. Yeah, so I was going like, I'd probably Shang-Chi. I mean, the Shang-Chi trailer was, that kind of. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm waiting for it to come out.
Friday.
Friday, yeah.
Friday on Disney Plus, yeah.
Tomorrow.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Tomorrow.
Oh, okay, good.
Is that gonna be like one of those 3 a.m. drops or something?
Maybe. Or midnight tonight, maybe, actually.
Well, tomorrow. Yeah, I don't know if, because it's already been out for such a long time, I don't think they're going to drop it like it's a Loki episode or, something like that.
Yeah.
All right, we'll give it to you at 5 p.m.
Yeah, well, if anything, nowadays it's more along the lines of we've been doing watch parties a lot on our platform on Scener, and that's probably a better place for that to literally just do a watch party. We've been having a lot of great participation from our friends and supporters out there. Speaking of supporters, if you look down below at the crawl, you can go to our website. We are part of the Binge network. You can go there and you can donate. You can purchase some of our merchandise. Show your love. Go to the site. Keep the lights on. Anyway,
Coffee in the pot.
Exactly. It's a tip. It shows your appreciation as we appreciate you. So
Julian,
thank you again.
and just for those curious, Julian's being legit. If he were to take down his virtual background, you'd see he has no lights on in his house.
Yeah. Well, first of all, that's assuming that I'm in a house and not in an alley somewhere. Yeah. But
Julian's at like a internet cafe.
Yes. That's I'm at Starbucks, but it's a lower end of that. It's like Apollo's, the lesser version of Starbucks.
Squatting
Well, I am
Lord and Taylor's at the mall.
That's a better
Well,
Starbucks.
I would like to tell you guys I am in Marvel Studios at the moment. You can see.
Yes.
Yeah.
I see a head growing out of your head.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. There you go.
Quado. Yes, there's several versions. It's the multiverse.
Yeah, it's the multiverse. This is all. This is the Ramon version of Avengers. So.
There you go.
Well,
yes. But anyone seen it though? Eternals. I mean, I would watch it if I got like some kind of a good, review from any of you guys. But as far as just based on the trailer itself, no, I'm not gonna see it. I might see it if it comes out. Eventually comes out.
It's not an if, it's a when.
Well, you're going to have to see it, Ramon, because it's part of the MCU. So you're going to have to.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think that's the only motivating factors for me right now. Is just it's
the
like
completionist aspect.
The
completionist aspect of it.
Yeah, basically, I want the mere fact they mentioned the Avengers twice in the trailer. That's going like, okay, all right, I'm going to watch it anyway. So
here's the funny thing: they also mention Superman.
Really?
Yeah. There's an interesting new, fourth wall that they're breaking through or something, because they literally said a kid refers to Icarus, who's the guy that can fly, that can do the lasers out of his eyes, and he's played by the Game of Thrones actor. I forget his name.
Rob Stark. You're an actor, and I'm like, no, character.
Richard Madden is his real name.
That's right. Yeah.
And he played Rob Stark, and as well as Kit Harington, who plays Jon Snow.
Yes.
And I hear he knows nothing. That's what I hear.
Yeah, you know nothing, Jon Snow.
Exactly. So Icarus, can fly, and he's basically Superman, and a little kid says, sees him and says, "Hey, I saw him on TV. That's Superman. He was flying around with a cape." And and this is in the trailer, so it's not a spoiler. He looks down at the kid and says, "I don't wear a cape." He has a Scottish accent, by the way. So yes. But no, you're right. Star-studded cast. You got Kumail Nanjiani, Richard Madden, Gemma Chan as Cersei, Kit Harington, Selma Hayek, Angelina Jolie. But you also have Brian Tyree Henry. A lot of people know him from here. He's doing what I call walking in two worlds, because he was also the administrator in the movie Joker, which Logan, you haven't seen Joker, but has anybody seen Joker other than me? No. Nope. All right. Well, he was in it. You'll see him in the trailer, because when the Joker was trying to get his medicine, Tyree was the one behind the fence, and he was talking to him, blah, blah, blah. And also, Madong Seok is he plays Gilgamesh. Good, strong character. This is all directed by Chloe Zhao. And there's one breakout actress that I love. Her name is Lauren Ridloff, and she plays Makari. She's a speedster. And I want to say this, and you guys can appreciate this as fans of The Flash. They do her speed superpower better than any speed superpower I've ever seen on film.
You know,
You know
and that
What's so
like that.
different about it?
Well, the typical way, and you guys know this,
Yeah.
when they show a speedster, what they do is everybody else just moves slow, and they move like it kind of a normalish speed. You know,
Mhm.
the same way they did Quicksilver, the same way they did the Flash. Everything just freezes, and they're kind of just moving it at their own accelerated pace, so your eyes can process it.
Mhm.
This, they don't even bother with that. She's a blur, and she has a fight scene with Icarus. And let's just say it was some of the best fighting combat that I've ever seen, because it's kind of like it full speed, no pun intended, but you see how a speedster can fight somebody who's like on God level with their strength.
Mhm.
And it's just savage. It is much brutal. Instead of uh, moving bullets out of the way or tripping people or putting their hat down over their eyes, or just pushing people and running away like the Flash said he did. It's really interesting. I think you should check it out.
Hmm.
That being said, I can tell you why it is, kind of divisive in regards to the reviews. This, I think, is almost falling into the Justice League trap, where they introduced a whole bunch of characters that you had no vested interest in,
Mhm.
all at once. And then they're going, I think Marvel's formula for success was, getting the individuals to start on their own and then come together. And you needed to ramp up to that. They kind of jumped right into the team mode, which can and can't work. I think it worked better with Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But this, I think, just did not hit the right note. And a lot of the fight scenes were done on like a sandy beach and an island. So there's like
no destruction.
There's no collateral, which, not saying that you should have collateral, but a fight scene on a beach is just not cool. It's unless it's like really, there's a lot of dynamic savagery. It's kind of like, well, where's the stakes here? What are they fighting for? They're just fighting on a beach. I think the locations made it suffer a little bit, and the fact that these were unknown characters and you didn't have any personal vested interest in them to a certain extent. I liked them, but it's just it didn't have that investment that I would have with watching Captain America going toe to toe to Iron Man, because you've been on this journey up to that point, and you have perspective of them and background, and that's my 2 cents. So
yeah, I think that was the problem with the trailers that I saw too, is that it basically didn't look like Marvel's Eternals. It looked like Marvel's Justice League, literally, with Superman and Flash.
Yes.
And I
I
mean,
think that's one of the memes that went around, is they said Marvel finally made a DC movie.
yeah, and they still, I mean, probably did it a little bit better, likely, but
Well,
so
I would want to see the speedster fight, because for me, there's only one speedster scene for me that really tops every speedster scene, and that's Quicksilver doing the thing with the time in a bottle theme song
In the Pentagon.
Basically,
in the Pentagon in X-Men Days of Future Past.
Exactly. That's I think that's the best speedster scene ever. So I'll see how this compares.
Did you like that one better than what was the other one where he did it to he was Sweet Dreams was the background music when
he was at the mansion.
He showed up at the mansion as it was like blowing up.
Well, actually, both. But I think that the time in a bottle and the Sweet Dreams. Actually, the Sweet Dreams. Yeah, you got a point. That actually is even better than the time in a bottle one.
Well, to be fair, they're the same character, so it's
Yeah, it's the same character, but that basically the way they did it is I think that's the best way of
I think Evan Peters stole both those movies. Like his scenes as Quicksilver basically stole the show.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
And then he ended up in WandaVision.
Yep.
Yeah, as the what he calls as the other version of
as a
The
dork.
actor,
Yeah. What was his name again? I forget. Boner. Yes.
Ralph Boner.
Yeah, Ralph Boner.
Very good. No.
Yep.
Yeah, but guys, I
Yeah.
definitely, you will see Eternals because, again, like
Yeah,
like
it's
what
going to
we
be
said,
on Disney
It's
Plus, and
Marvel,
we'll
so.
watch it immediately. Yeah.
exactly. Well, good things, good things. Okay, so moving on to our next topic, and we are knocking them out the box today, gentlemen.
That's
Yeah.
right.
So let us discuss.
Right along.
And I think that Ramon, this is yours. Are you ready to go?
Yeah, sure.
Boom. There you
Ramon's
go.
Yeah.
always ready to go.
Space Sweepers. Actually, this was a big surprise to me. What do you call this? It was well made. The special effects was fantastic. It's actually direction and production are all. It's a Korean film basically,
Yep.
but the way they did it, I mean, the storyline, the plot line was really good. And the special effects, I mean, it's closer. It's like a combination of a real player one and the Battlestar Galactica, the newer Battlestar Galactica series, the newer series where basically you have the cameras panning in and out while the ship is moving, making it look more realistic. Those kinds of things. I was This was a complete surprise to me. Um, and of course, the storyline, of course, without giving too much away, is basically it's so you had like these three characters and a robot, but all of them have their own little what do you call this? They have their own demons that are, well, not really demons, but they're all trying to get by with what life has dealt with them. And it almost reminded, at first when I was first watching it, almost reminded me of the Elysium. Basically, you have the people living on Earth where they're basically it's a third world, and then you have the outer space where you have these colonies where all the rich live, and you have the breathable air, nice environment and stuff like that. So, was first watching it, I thought it was going to be like almost like Elysium, but turned out to be great. Turned out to be the storyline stood on its own.
Yeah.
And just not to give too much of it, basically what happened was so Earth is polluted. Earth, it's almost not livable, and the only way you can make money and really good money is to just become a garbage sweeper in space, grab all the junk that's floating around in space and stuff. And these space sweepers discover a stowaway in one of the vehicles that they were sweeping. They were sweeping, and it was a kid. I'm not sure how old
Hey,
she
don't
was.
spoil it. Don't spoil it.
Oh yeah, okay. But anyway, the
7
story
years old.
revolves around that. It's almost like it's like, well, I'm not gonna say Train to Busan, where basically you have two genres, like you got the horror and then you have the drama coming together in a weird but way, but it works. Same thing here. You have like some kind of you have drama and you have sci-fi action all coming together and making a good film. So I'm not gonna say anything else. I would just recommend you guys watch it. Tell me what you guys think.
It's
But
on.
it's
It's
really
on.
good.
It's on
Hmm?
Netflix, and
It's on Netflix. Yes.
like a dummy, I looked. I just literally just Googled it, and in the description, the little snippet that Google provides, they give away what you're talking about, and I'm just like,
Okay.
now I'm not going to spoil it, but yeah, they spoiled it because Google's evil. Everybody knows that. So
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a fantastic movie.
I
Yeah.
gotta check it out. Yeah,
Huge surprise.
Yes.
I'll set up a
Loved
watch
it.
party for that on our Scener account.
Yeah.
So
Worth it.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Cool. So, wow, it's only been an hour and we've burned through every topic that there is to talk about.
Have we ever ended on time?
Oh,
Yeah.
something's
Oh,
wrong.
Well,
just an hour. Wow.
Well, we did. We
My,
did.
my binge sense is tingling, so
Ah,
Yeah.
there's a
speaking of which,
disturbance in the force.
no. Thank you for that, Kenny, because we do have an announcement to make.
Oh,
And this is going to be something huge, and it has a lot to do with Kenny and his tingling sensations. We are putting together.
I like that.
Yeah, no. It's a good tingling. You know, not.
I like
I'm gonna
that.
have to retire, guys. I think I'm done.
We are going to be launching an extension of this channel called Binge Theory Gaming, where we're going to be showing a lot of gaming video content put together by Kenny and anybody else on the team that can contribute. I'm a little bit past my prime when it comes to gaming, unless there's a big need to see somebody play Q*bert or Donkey Kong. It's kind of I'm hanging up my joysticks, but Kenny is an F1 racer. Kenny, name some of the games that you've been playing that the wonderful viewers can expect to see on Binge Theory Gaming coming soon.
So you already mentioned the Formula One 2021 game. Also been playing the more recently released Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl, which is very similar to Nintendo's Smash Brothers. So just Nickelodeon characters. I'm still learning it. I've only played a little bit, but there's that. Hot Wheels Unleashed I just got as well. Old PC game that they remastered and put on PlayStation. Diablo 2 Resurrected.
Whoa.
Yeah, basically Blizzard remastered it and put it on console. So I just got that, and I'll start recording some, some of that as well. Madden, but I don't know if I'll put my Madden stuff up there just because my Madden is probably Julian's level of Madden if he started playing today, because I am not competitive at all in Madden. I play on super easy, and nobody wants to watch that.
There's easy, then there's super easy.
Yeah.
It's funny you say it that way, because I mean, I used to we had a Nintendo growing up. I did a little bit here or there, played computer games, whatever. And I think I always kind of thought that way too, where it's if I'm not going through it on normal or hard or something, then it's I'm not really, gaming. I'm not really doing it or anything. And I don't know, maybe I've just gotten old and I can just deal with it now or what, but the story is the same.
Mm-hmm.
The game is the same. The experience is, albeit a lot more pleasurable, if you're not being completely accosted to death at every left turn. So I've taken the stance that I probably wouldn't have been able to 20 years ago.
Yeah.
But I just put it on easy. I don't care.
Yep. No,
I'm here just to enjoy the story and the game and the art and be immersed in, what is it? There's a Star Wars one that I was playing, came out I think last year. No, it came out last year. It was the single player.
Oh, the
what is it?
The Jedi one.
Yeah, the Jedi one. Yes.
Isn't new? No, not New Order.
Well, I know
there's on Steam real quick.
Old Republic. There's the Force Unleashed. There's that one. Are you talking about the kid with the little robot?
Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah, Fallen Order. There you go.
And it's I thought about it and I was about to go all right, I'll put it on normal or hard or something. I'll really get this. No.
Yep,
easy. I just want to enjoy the story. And
actually, so what's interesting is the game I play the most is Formula One. I was telling Julian we can do some binge theory racing. We create our own binge theory team and race through the career on that. But I've actually met some other Formula One gamers, and then it's interesting to hear different people's perspectives on when they watch other streamers or content creators with Formula One the games. you actually get a decent mix of the type of people that play. And what I mean by that is there's a large portion of the community that thinks that if you're not playing on with the AI setting, over 100, then you're not a game you're not a gamer. You're not really playing. And I'm like,
and I've been doing that to myself in my head the last 10 years. Yeah.
So I had a conversation with a couple of guys that I was trying to do lobby racing online with, and they only wanted to race with really high AI settings.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, look, guys, I can't. Like, I do not have the time to dedicate to practice this game to get good enough to be able to race and play at that level. Like, it's crazy. And because I have the AI cranked way down, and some days it's still hard.
Mm-hmm.
But I learned that years ago that I was like, I'm tired of trying to be that guy that's playing everything on like hard or the super hard. It's crazy. So I'd rather just enjoy the game, go through it, and
totally 100%.
And the way I do it is, if I go through it, I'll go through it on easy mode. And if it was super easy and it was too easy, then I go up to the next level and I'll play through again.
Sure.
But I'm not going to start on the hardest mode, because I know I'm going to get frustrated with it. And I actually found that happened recently with the Formula One game. Is I had actually cranked up the AI a little higher than normal, and I was trying to do more than what I am actually capable of. And I just started getting really, really, really frustrated with the game. And I was like, no, I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
Like,
well, if you think about it,
I will be the casual gamer that I am.
And you and I have got the same problem. We've got kids under the age of, well, for me, 7, for you, younger. You know, if we're not able to get back to a game in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, more, whatever, you can't pick up that still at, hard level or whatever else with all sorts of crazy stuff. Like, in order to have that enjoyment where it's like, oh my God, it's been 2 months, I finally get an hour or two to play. All right, let's go. No, you've got to be able to just get in and do it and enjoy it, just for the catharsis, the enjoyment of it. And easy's the only way to do that.
But that's why I stopped playing like the Call of Duty games, because the campaigns are fairly short, and those games are built mostly for online play, and you can't really be a casual gamer.
That's why I don't do anything online.
Online with like Call of Duty, because it's same thing. I've never played Fortnite. I've never played League of Legends or Apex Legends. None of those games that are all pretty much online only. I just don't do it, because I'm not. I know that I am not going to be at any level to compete, and I'm not going to have fun.
Well,
the whole purpose to have fun.
If you're not going to be participating in any esport, Kenny?
No.
Okay.
If I can, there's two things. First of all, I want to comment, because Logan, you're a runner, and
I am,
and that I can understand the enjoyment of the actual act of running. I mean, sure, you want to be the best time you can do and execute that, but if you run in a marathon with a certain crowd, the results are going to be a little disheartening, but you're running your own race, and the same thing should be applicable to gaming. Just like you have golfing, that you're not going to be playing against Tiger Woods, you're playing against the tee and the green. So I get that. I think also, and I'll be frank, our brains are turning to mush. The older we get, The older we get, our
Speak for
synapses
yourself.
are not firing like a 12-year-old. And think of it like Queen's Gambit, and how when you're young, you can have that rapid response, but the older you get, it's just I mean, you can still have all your marbles, but let's just say that they're rolling a little slower than they used to.
Hey,
I like that.
speak for yourself. I have 25 hours of Pong recorded. If guys are interested.
Yeah. The marbles in my brain are rolling slow because they're sticky because my kids have been playing with them.
Yes.
Again,
if all you did was play games,
and it's just going to be disgusting and nasty, sticky, and you're like, why? Why is everything sticky?
If all you did was play Mortal Kombat all day long, sure, you'd be a whiz at it. But you have a mortgage and a career and have to clean and have to rear children. So yeah, you're not going to be as on point as a 12-year-old who is hopped up on Red Bulls and just
No,
there you go.
I'm a 42-year-old that'll be hopped up on Red Bulls.
I'll have to open up a game and start sipping my Zoa.
Yeah. Hey, those aren't bad.
What you should have.
I just got a few actually to try them out. I hadn't been able to get to there was no GNCs around me, and that was the only place I could find them carrying.
I ordered them through Amazon, but I was buying them like a case at a time.
Yeah, I just wanted to try one.
Yeah.
Now,
I will say it is cool that they do have. If you go through the site directly, they do have a multi-pack.
Oh, I'll have to look at that. And
like a couple of each.
Yeah.
Try. I switched to the sugar-free ones.
Those are the 5 that I got to try.
Yeah.
Again,
they're pretty good. I enjoyed them.
Yeah. So, Julian, that's the Dwayne Johnson's energy drink brand.
Yeah.
Oh, so when you drink it, do you get like 3% body fat and super jacked? Is that how it works?
I'm hoping
you turn green like the guy right behind me.
Yeah. He drinks it and turns into White Adam.
White.
But no, like with the gaming stuff, yeah, like it'll be a lot of recording content at first, but we're gonna do some live streams. I'm setting expectations up front. Like, guys, I'm a casual gamer, but I am all about having fun. So trust me, like when I play Diablo, I purposely play as a barbarian because I can do a lot of fun things with the character that you don't normally do with other characters.
Totally appropriate. Totally appropriate.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But there's like all kinds of cool things we can do, like with other games. I mean, we'll watch SpongeBob beat up, Captain what is his name? Powdered Toast Man?
Powdered Toast Man. Yeah. I was gonna say, did they have the Rick and not Rick and Morty, Ren and Stimpy.
Yes, Ren and Stimpy. And actually Ren and Stimpy are one character. So if I'm not mistaken, Ren and Stimpy fight together.
Oh, interesting.
I'll have to look at it. I'll look at it again and see.
I'm sure cat dog fights together too.
Yeah, of course. Kind of hard not to. But I'm hoping that they will start releasing more characters.
What's the other one that I and again I'm going back to my Nickelodeon treasure trove. Cow chicken? Yeah, I think it was cow chicken or chicken cow or something like that.
I'm trying to see what the list of characters.
I'll go way back, and they can get the cast from You Can't Do That on Television.
Here we go. So you have all the Ninja Turtles.
Nice.
Oh.
And April O'Neil. Aang from the last Avatar: The Last Airbender. You also have Toph from that one, and then from the Legend of Korra, the follow-on is you have Korra, Cat Dog, Danny Phantom.
Hmm.
Helga from Hey Arnold. And then Lucy and Lincoln Loud from the Loud House. Nigel Thornberry from the Wild Thornberries. Oblina from Real Monsters.
Oh wow!
You guys remember that one?
Yeah, I remember Real Monsters.
Yeah.
Quick question though.
Huh?
Quick question. April O'Neil. Is it April O'Neil Megan Fox or April O'Neil 90s one?
It's April O'Neil 90s. April O'Neil 90s animated April O'Neil.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, what about Casey Jones? He was in.
No,
Turtles,
you're
right?
not on here.
No.
We have Patrick
What?
Star, Sandy, and SpongeBob, all from SpongeBob Show. Powdered Toast Man, Ren and Stimpy, and yes, they're one character.
Mhm.
Reptar from the Rugrats, and Zim.
Wow.
Invader Zim.
Well, yeah, we definitely got to.
What about Arnold? Sorry. Arnold.
He's not on here yet.
Okay.
They'll add him.
I think they're gonna add. Yeah. I think they'll add more.
Yeah, if they're going to do Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, they got to do like Shredder and Splinter and what's the Bebop and what's the other
Rocksteady.
one?
Yeah, Bebop and Rocksteady.
Yeah. Again, let me put it this way. I think I can dust off my console and get a few games in. Yeah, I do like seeing footage of the they have the Justice League versus Mortal Kombat. I forget the name of it, but I've been seeing a lot like of those where it's kind of like you got the Justice League, you got Mortal Kombat, you got Rambo, you got what are some of the other characters I've seen? And I forget the game, but it has like this just a combination of they got RoboCop. It looks interesting. So I
would love to see Expendables versus Reds.
Ooh, yeah.
Now Reds.
Retired and extremely dangerous.
Yeah, but that's just like Bruce Willis, right? Who else is in
Helen Mirren.
Who else?
Helen Mirren.
Helen Mirren, yeah. You know, I'd like to.
Helen Mirren's badass, man.
Yeah.
I think I saw the first one and I was just like, yeah.
What?
I saw both of them. It's really good.
Yeah.
It didn't grip me. I'm sorry.
Really?
Listen, they can't all be the ones, and this was not my one.
Helen Mirren playing an assassin, I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, I've seen Helen Mirren as an assassin with Cuba Gooding Jr. in a film called Shadow Boxer, and that's a deep cut. If you see that, take a look at it. It's interesting. Helen Mirren is like a hit woman who takes out Cuba Gooding Jr.'s father and then raises Cuba Gooding Jr. to be a hitman. And let's just say they're not your typical family unit. It's a little more romantically inclined, yada yada yada. But it's interesting, and it's kind of like a B movie. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, she was good as an assassin there.
That almost sounds like the premise for The Huntress. Basically, assassins. Huntress basically kills the mob daughter. Another mob kills them, the family, and then one of the mob people takes her and has her trained an assassin with another mob family, and yada yada yada. That sounds pretty much the same premise.
Yeah. Well, it's also like first again, my one of my top 10 films of all time, The Professional. Leon. Now he didn't kill her family, but he was training her. Interesting thing, because I didn't realize this till much later. Because in the American version they first released, they took out a lot of stuff because our sensibilities couldn't handle what the Europeans were dishing out. And Jean Reno was taking Natalie Portman on hits, training her to be a hit woman. And America didn't have. They were like, no, take all that out. But they re-released it.
I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah,
The only thing I've seen, I know that they shot somebody with a paintball.
that was the American version. Where
So in the European version, was that a real hit?
oh no, that was training.
Oh,
But
okay.
she went full on. They were hitting people.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I don't know. But
I mean,
again,
it's a great, fantastic movie.
Again, one of my top 10 of all time.
Yes.
It was directed by Luc Besson, and to me, that's his watermark.
Element.
What's that?
Who also did The Fifth Element?
To me, the Professional was his watermark. Everything else was just a down step, including The Fifth Element. And I will internet.
We might have to go box that one out, Julian.
Internet, I will fight you because I'm saying it matter of fact. The Professional is Luc Besson's best movie, better than The Fifth Element,
You're wrong.
Lucy, and better than Lucy. Yeah,
No.
and everything he's done since then.
No,
I have mixed feelings about
next
the
level.
Fifth Element.
Prove me wrong, Internet. Prove me wrong. But no, don't get wrong. The Fifth Element had moments, but I told Logan this a long time ago.
The Fifth Element was a moment in itself.
Yeah. If anybody has ever seen the animated movie Heavy Metal, look at that and then look at The Fifth Element and tell me there's not some generous borrowing going on.
You can borrow and make it better.
Yep. Yes, but make it better.
Oh, dude.
Oof.
Listen. Don't get me wrong. There are some wonderful one-liners there. You know, what is it? Is you have to work on those communication skills. You know, I get it. You know, there was a lot of good one-liners in there, and here's the thing.
Chris' character was just
whose character?
Chris Tucker.
Yeah, Chris Tucker.
Yeah.
Character Ruby Rod or whatever his name was.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, man. That character was hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fine. Everything's fine.
Yeah, but the thing about it is I thought that he was just being in character when that was the first time I ever saw him. I thought he was being in character in Fifth Element until I saw him in other movies like Rush Hour and stuff like that. I was like, that's pretty much how he acts all the time.
Well, to me, the first time I saw him was in Friday.
Yeah, that's where I first saw Chris Tucker.
Yeah, and then the Fifth Element was just I mean it was too neon poppy for me. It was just I get it, you know. It had moments, but and again everybody's got their flavor, and that's just not one of my favorites. I think also because I had seen Gary Oldman portray one of the most heinous, dark characters in The Professional.
Yeah.
And then he plays this kind of laughable villain in Fifth Element. And I didn't like it. And I was like,
I will say Gary Oldman's character in The Professional is I mean ruthless. Savage.
Exactly. We may have to do a watch party.
Yeah. No, you want to do a watch party for The Professional? I'm in.
Me too.
Listen,
up there.
Hey, you need to commit. None of this picky choosy stuff. You know,
man. Look, if you want me to do a watch party, you gotta give me something that I know I'm gonna have a ton of commentary for.
Well, okay, but what if it's a watch party or something you haven't seen? Come on.
Oh,
come on. But okay, well, I'll do it. We'll add that to the list. You heard it here, Internet. We're going to do a watch party for The Professional on Scener.
So our watch party list is probably somewhere into February or March of 2022 now, right?
Or 23.
Or 23, yeah. Well, add this to the list. We'll see you guys in 2023. Watch party for The Professional.
Knock on wood, but again, I will list out my top films of all time, and definitely The Professional is always up there. I mean, first of all, look at the cast. The cast was ridiculous, and let's see here.
That is a show theme. We need to do one entire show where we go through each other's top 10 movies and just and you know, you can trash somebody's list or support it, or well, I mean, Julian would just probably shit on everybody's, but you know,
well, it's because like in gaming, I'm operating at a higher level. So
that's what it is.
You sure it's not just you're just not a movie snob?
Yes, you know what? You trust me, moviesnob.com was taken. Otherwise, that would be the name of this channel. No. I love discovering new films. So yeah, if somebody has one that they've appreciated, I'm more than open to just giving it a go. I'm a little bit of an elitist when it comes to movies, but I can enjoy all types of stuff. But for some reason, I think it's because here's the thing, Luc Besson, and again, I was watching him before The Professional, watching his foreign films a long time ago, and I was a huge fan. He did this movie called, and it starred Jean Reno. It was called, I want to say The Deep Blue. If one of you guys can check and fact check me on that.
I think you're right.
And it was shot in Greece, and it had to deal with free diving. And it was Jean Reno and this other guy, and they were like rivals. And it was one of the most beautifully shot foreign films ever. And they would go, for those who don't know what free diving is, it's when you dive as deep as you can without a breathing apparatus.
The Big Blue.
The Big Blue. Thank you. And this was Luc Besson, the first movie I saw with Luc Besson, and it was just amazing and gripping. And then I saw La Femme Nikita.
Yeah.
That he did. And that was the inspiration for Point of No Return, starring Bridget Fonda. And that was the American version of it, because of course, why write something original when you can just take somebody else's? And then I saw, but his relationship obviously with Jean Reno, from starting off with the Deep Blue, the Deep Blue, right, Kenny?
Yes, The Deep Blue. The
Deep Blue to La Femme Nikita. He played the killer, the cleaner in La Femme Nikita, and then he played the professional in, Leon the Professional. So, and then, so I loved all three of those, and then bang, Fifth Element, which I had hopes for, but it was such a genre shift. I think it just kind of threw me off. And
that's like, you know what that sounds like? That's like when people get mad because their favorite band decides to try something new.
Yes.
And it's like, no, you're not what I want you to be anymore. So you're bad.
Yes.
That is such an elitist attitude, to think that you own someone else. Come on.
That's right. Well, first of all, I'm not saying Luc Besson's bad. I'm just saying that movie I do not like. Just like when Bob Dylan went electric. Didn't like it. There's certain things that you just don't appreciate the direction they're going.
But that's, to me, that sounds more like you're more upset that the artist decided to try something new than actually supporting the fact that they want to broaden their horizon as an artist.
Well, I'm all for improving upon one's art, but doing action, big budget, doesn't necessarily mean improving.
I didn't say improving. I said broaden your horizons, right? Well, you can't learn if you don't try.
No, I saw them.
Everything you do on the first try.
No, I saw them, and there was nothing broadening about it. It was, matter of fact, if you see Colombiana, which he did as well, there were literally scenes that he took from The Professional and just swapped out the person. There was a scene where she had to use an axe to hack through a firewall to escape. That's how literal, he was in ripping off the scenes that he'd already done.
Yeah.
And again, don't get me wrong, it's all subjective. We can enjoy what we can enjoy, but technically his movies are just lesser than they were. That's when I say the watermark, I mean, don't get me wrong, the Fifth Element of its time, it was of its time, and it had a specific, you know, message and all that. But after that, if you see, like I said, Colombiana and Lucy, I like the premise of Lucy, actually. I like the
Lucy was great until the last 10 minutes.
Well, let me
or 15 minutes or whatever it was.
I appreciated the premise of the mind, you know, operating at such a level. And I also really liked the philosophy of a living being. If it does not need to improve upon itself, it will not reproduce. Essentially, because reproduction is a form of evolution. I'm only going to be so tall. I'm only going to run so fast. But because the environment around me changes, I need to clone myself and have a better version of me.
Yeah.
Reproduction. But if I'm perfect, that's not necessary. I'm not going to get smarter. I don't need to improve. So that's like the ultimate life. I like that premise, at least the discussion of that premise that he put out there.
I think my only issue with movies like Lucy are that they've already that we've disproven for years before that movie ever came out. I mean, and there's many movies that talked about the brain
using 100% of your brain.
I hate that one.
We're already using 100% of our brain.
Yeah.
Right. Like.
Oh yeah, I knew Limitless and
yeah,
all of them.
Limitless is a different. I think Limitless is a little bit of a different take on it.
It's a chemical enhancement. Yeah.
It's more like it's like Adderall.
That's exactly what it is.
It is. But the movies like Lucy, where it's like we're changing something that's allowing you to use more of your brain. It's like that's already been like we already know scientifically that's been disproven for years.
Yeah.
So why are we still trying to use that concept when we know it's not true at all?
Mm-hmm.
Well, because people don't like to have to think; they like to be told what to think. And if I tell you that you're using 10% of your brain, okay, there you go. We're in America. You know, and let's not forget. You know, we spent the last half hour talking about Marvel movies and stuff like that. So I mean, it's Shakespeare. It ain't. And again, not saying that you can't appreciate something that's not highfalutin, but a lot of it isn't think pieces. They're not challenging us to go outside of our comfort zone. But so that's the one thing I did appreciate about Lucy, because other than the whole car, the chase aspect of it, I honestly was intrigued by the premise of, I mean, they were touching on some interesting things about evolution and not so much like, oh, your brain is so smart, but I just like the premise of, like I said before, if a being does not need to evolve, will it reproduce? What's the point in that? I mean, if it can handle its environment no matter what the circumstance, does it need to have a better version of itself?
Yeah.
But again, I thought that was interesting. And again, I'll say this about I will own up to this in regards to The Professional. Why it's probably one of my top ones is because to me, it wasn't like it was the best movie, but everything that it did extremely well. It had tenderness, it had drama, it had good action, a fantastic score, great cinematography. Everything it just did very well. It wasn't like the biggest, the best of all that, but it was like a perfect song.
Yeah, but, and this, I think the storyline has not been done. I mean, unless I haven't seen anything like it before, where you basically have you're training a 13-year-old to kill, become an assassin. I mean, I don't think I've seen a plot line like that before, because I think because of vengeance, you want to teach you're teaching a kid how to. I've never seen a plot line like that before, so I don't think a storyline like that has been done.
Well,
or has it? My
you
question.
Didn't see it in the States because they didn't want to show it. They just were like,
so
they showed that one training scene and then they cut out the rest.
So I would call a professional like I put it in the same category as like not a cult film, but it's like it has a group of people that follow it, right? Like the you know how like Boondock Saints, right? It wasn't like a phenomenal success when it came out, but it is a cult classic, right? I mean, the people that love Boondock Saints just love Boondock Saints. Like it's just
And I heard they're talking about a third one.
It's been.
I actually haven't seen the second.
Oh yeah,
I haven't. I know it's out. I just haven't.
The third is on its way, I believe. They just started production or something. I'm pretty sure.
I don't know the details, but is that also going to include Norman Reedus? Is he still going to be reprising his role?
Not only reprising, I think he's either helping produce or help write or help something. Like he's totally involved.
That would make sense. I mean, because obviously his real estate went up.
And that's part of why they haven't done it, because of his schedule and other things zombie related he's been involved with.
Okay. I think Ramon has some technical thing that he's trying to do.
But what? So since we're like talking about your top movies, like what are your how do you feel towards Boondock Saints?
You know what's funny of the time, and because that was kind of like its own stylistic genre of film. I mean, it was was
it 80s or 90s? I can't remember.
Early 90s, I think.
Yeah.
I think early 90s.
1999. Wow.
Yeah, because I remember that came out.
That's a shock. I did not realize that was 99.
And it took 10 years for 2 to come out. So 2 was 2009.
Wow.
There you go. Yeah. Let me see what else was kind of similar to that, because the 90s was the whole not to be too literal, but like the trench the trench coat shoot 'em up thing. I'll tell you what I loved, and it's horrible, but when it came out I loved it.
Yeah,
was Sylvester Stallone's Cobra.
I don't know if I've seen that one.
Don't bother. It's horrible, but it was. Let me put it this way: it was sly. This was like. Let me put it this way: this was Sylvester Stallone. I think right after Rocky IV, where he was going. It was kind of like a gap fill. Like when these big action stars have one and it just doesn't quite hit. He played a police officer, and let me put it this way: 90% of the time he had on sunglasses. And he had on leather gloves and a trench coat, and his name was Cobretti, but they called him Cobra. I mean, it was when you look at it now, it's so cliche in every facet. But of the time, and also it starred his love interest, Brigitte Nielsen. So yeah, it was, and again, it was just chock full of ridiculous action parodies, but it was good. It kind of reminded me of which of its time was good, but Arnold Schwarzenegger's Commando. Kind of just the but it is what it is. What else? What's your let's do a quick speed round of one of our favorite films. Doesn't have to be but just one that you'd recommend for others to watch.
You want me to go first?
Yeah, let's go with you, Ken.
All right. Lucky Number 11.
Oh, Adam Driver. And
Josh Hartnett and Bruce Willis and Morgan Freeman.
Oh, I'm thinking of the wrong one.
Kingsley and Lucy Liu. Yeah, Stanley Tucci's in it.
Interesting.
Yeah, Lucky Number 11 is one of that is one of mine that if people haven't seen it, I always recommend it. It's because I've never been a big fan of Josh Hartnett, but I love that movie.
You know what? Josh Hartnett, likewise, never a huge fan, but he was in a series called Penny Dreadful.
Yeah.
That he was not that bad. And also a little trivia for you. He was up for the role of Batman, turned it down.
Wow.
Yeah, he turned it down. Because, I think at that moment he just got off from playing Black Hawk Down, and I think he'd done a couple of roles that had got him some cachet, and yeah, he said he didn't want to do it. He didn't want to go into some big thing like that. So,
Yep.
oh, you know what? Here's why I mistook it. I took it for Lucky Logan.
Oh,
no, Logan
Lucky.
Yeah, Logan Lucky.
Yeah, different movie.
No relation.
All right, who's next?
Ramon, how about you, sir?
Number one would be Absence of Malice. Sally Fields, Paul Newman.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, Paul Newman was the man.
Yeah.
I was a fan of his ever since The Hustler, and and Sally Fields, was that right?
Yeah, Sally Fields. Yeah, that's my all-time favorite movie. Yeah, you're surprised, right? You were probably thinking Endgame and stuff. But no, that one was growing up, that was my go-to movie because I really think it was smartly done. Basically, taking the what do you call this? Taking the press to what do you call this? Making it's like have you guys seen it, by the way?
I've not seen it. I'm going to add this to my list, though. I'm looking at the cast, though. It's got Wilford Brimley, Bob.
Exactly.
Wilford Brimley.
Yeah, Wilford Brimley.
Yeah.
So basically, what happens is so the DA's office leaked a story about this guy in order to get to Paul Newman. So basically, what happened was what happened in the movie is like Paul Newman. There was a one of his employees, I believe, was disappeared, and they're trying to basically tie Paul Newman into that disappearance. And so what happened was they'd have no proof. So what happened was the DA's office leaked information to the press, and then the press kind of like through innuendo made him look guilty and stuff like that. And there was a series of things that basically got the press didn't do their due diligence. I mean, it was all just they were all trying to get to Paul Newman, and then what had happened was he had hatched this plan, a very smart plan to get his revenge on the people who leaked the information and the press. It's really, really good. It's a really, really good movie.
Yeah, I'm looking at some of the info on it right now. It came out in '81, directed by Sidney Pollack. He always did some amazing work. In the summary, to your point, it said, Megan Carter is a reporter duped into running an untrue story on Michael Gallagher, a suspected racketeer.
Yep.
He has an alibi for the time his supposed crime was committed, but it involves innocent party. Oh, I see what you're doing there. Yeah. I'll geez, so many movies to check out. But you know what? I'll tell you what, we'll do stream parties. Stream them all. Stream the world.
Yeah, I'm actually trying to find some place where this is streamed. I don't think Netflix carries it, but it was like growing up. This was my
Amazon. It says it's on Amazon.
Okay.
But it's saying you got to pay $2.99 on Amazon and Vudu, VUDU, or $3.99 on YouTube.
You just pick a couple of things on Amazon that you can afford to, ship late next week, and let them give you a couple bucks and free movie credits, free digital credits.
Yeah,
There you go.
that's what
Yeah, there you go.
that's what Clara does all the time.
Yep, that's how we watch the stuff on Amazon.
Very cool. So,
All right, so
Right.
Logan.
yes.
So I don't know where this will fall, but it will absolutely be in the top 10. It's a 1998 film with Robin Williams called What Dreams May Come.
Yeah.
Cuba Gooding Jr.
Yep.
And who else was in that?
What was her name?
I remember it was an interesting premise.
Yes.
Let's see.
Yeah, I don't know. This film it's one of those ones that it just hit me in a way and just never kind of, I don't know, never left me.
Oh, Annabella Sciorri,
Mhm.
Max von Sydow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just the idea and the premise and the experience, it was quite a movie.
No, I feel you. I feel you on that. And yeah, I do remember it. A lot of the kids are grown up now that were in it. So
Yeah.
but I do remember the ending and how that all I know it's been out for quite some time, but I'm not going to spoil anything. But
and was apparently based on a novel even before that. So
interesting. Yeah, this came out in 1998. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
American fantasy drama. I don't think I've ever heard that genre before.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, usually it's Korean fantasy drama.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because they do it so well. I mean, zombies and a zombie movie would make you cry, but you know what? They pull it off.
It did win some awards for best visual effects.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it for 98, yeah.
There you go. Well, I know I already spoke about The Professional, but I'll throw one extra in bonus round. I was a real fan of this obscure one that a lot of people may not have seen, and I think I might have mentioned it on an earlier episode. It was called. I never mentioned this one. It was called It's called The Fall, and what's funny is the guy who stars in it. It came out in 2006. The guy who stars in it plays Ronan the Accuser in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Not Oscar Isaac. No, not Oscar Isaac.
No.
Lee Pace.
Lee Pace.
Now, this was directed by Tarsem Singh, and he has a very specific cinematic style. You would probably remember he also shot a film with J-Lo way back in the day called The Cube.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I remember that one.
Everything he shoots looks like some, operatic, larger than life thing. And if you look at the trailer for The Fall, it is just breathtaking and just beautifully shot. And especially, this was 2006. So it was shaking a lot of that 90s, hullabaloo off. And I definitely recommend at least checking it out. Now, it is very kind of like The Cube. A lot of it is based on more of the visual aspect, but it does have a very interesting. I guess the best way to say it is, it's almost like a girl's. Well, what happens is the setup is essentially this: there's a girl who's in a hospital, and it's a period piece, and one of the patients is Lee Pace, and he tells the little girl just this mystical story, and she's envisioning what it would be like. And a child's imagination is very vivid and not bound by the typical physics of reality. So it's just beautiful. It's a girl's imagination of a story she's hearing, and obviously, like the director, he can make things look as beautiful as that. So definitely would check it out. I think it is playing on. It's not even showing that it's playing anywhere. Darn it! I mean,
is it like a Pan's Labyrinth kind of?
It is. It is definitely like kind of a Pan's Labyrinth feel, where you have like this interpretation of a story. But yeah, check out the trailer, later on, and let me know your thoughts, because it's beautifully shot. And again, Lee Pace. What's funny is because he was young back then. He was really young, and yeah. Now I'm trying to see what else he's been. Oh, he was also in *Halt and Catch Fire*. Yeah, so he's one of the main characters in that. I forgot about that. He was also an elf in *Game of Thrones*.
Oh,
Yeah, he was.
Lee Pace?
Was that
Who?
Lee Pace? Yeah.
Yeah, he was in Lord of the Rings.
What did I say? *Game of Thrones*? I meant *Lord of the
Yes.
Rings*. Sorry, the other mystical universe. Yeah, he played an elf, and yeah. So there you go. That is my extra. I know I squeezed the next one in there for you, but good stuff.
I think this will be a fun, like when we actually do that episode where we break down our top 10. I think that's going to be a fun episode.
Yeah, I don't want to have too much fun on this show, so let's let's pace ourselves. You see what I did there?
Yeah, we were here for it.
Wah, wah.
Yeah,
okay.
I got it. Just a Todd.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Yes, Todd.
All right.
So we throw puns. Everybody, guys.
Big puns.
Yes, big puns.
And we cannot lie.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, man.
Yeah. See, now you can tell we've been on for an extra hour, and now we're punchy. So, but guys, no, it's another awesome episode. And yes, we will do a run down our top tens. That is a special episode for the Binge Theory crew. And guys, like I said, it's super awesome. Logan, glad you're back from your vacation.
Happy to be back.
I spent my vacation looking in computer screens, so it's pretty much the same thing. And Kenny, Ramon,
yes, sir.
Always a pleasure. See, I was telling Ramon he's like sinking into
he is
the crawl.
I just don't want to cover up Captain America.
But it's you. It's literally your head on top of your head.
Yeah, my head on top of my head.
Surrounded by his head.
I got something to throw to you guys. Which character do you think I fit the most? So you got the Hulk. Which one do you want? The Hulk, the Thor, or Captain America, or Iron Man?
I think the Iron Man.
Iron Man.
I think the with the way the camera captured you, I think your face fits the Captain America.
Yeah, totally.
Best. But my favorite is the Hulk. That's my favorite of all of them.
It fits Captain America best, but I don't know, Thor. I keep getting drawn to Thor in the background. Like there's something with, like the goatee and just the hair that is blonde and just throws me off, but it all works for some reason, and I can't figure out why.
Not bad. Point Break.
Yeah. To your, just to your point, Logan. I actually that he was the one I worked on the most.
Yeah,
getting
that one,
yeah.
It shows.
And I do podcaster.
And I do.
Hey, if you guys want your face in any Marvel or DC characters, let me know.
There you go.
We'll have a Photoshop background contest for next episode.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, I'm telling you, we may next year redo our intro, and I'm telling you, we might need to do some like face swap technology and just get and we can select what favorite movies we're in and just swap them out.
Yeah.
That sounds fun.
Yeah. What's
well, not too much fun, but that's fun.
Yeah, not too much. Come on.
Yeah.
We got to pace ourselves. Just the right amount of fun. We got to, parse it out.
Right.
Exactly. But anyway, guys, always a pleasure. We got to catch up on our next one. We'll have another awesome episode. Remember out there that we have Binge Theory Gaming coming soon, where we get to watch Kenny pair it up with, the kids online and just, kind of win. Not all the time though. But again,
I'm sure I will get pwned, as the kids say.
But I'm looking forward to seeing a list of those games you were talking about that you'll have. So everybody out there, don't forget, we have Binge Theory Gaming coming. We have also our new donation/tip and merch store in the crawl below. You can go to bingenetwork.com. We love you. You're very special. We thank you for watching the show. And as always, take care of each other, take care of yourselves. And as always, if it's worthwhile, it's worth binging.